Well, hello and welcome to all of you, and hello and welcome to you, Ms. Dana Martin. Glad you are with us today.
Well, it's fun.
Well, wonderful. No, I heard you were singing a song,
Yes.
and then Philip
Yes.
offered that perhaps you would be willing to actually stick around for 3 o'clock.
To hang out with you guys.
To hang
This
out,
is exactly where I wanted
yes.
to be. Yeah.
To brave your way down to the kind of the downstairs ocean that we have down here at CLC right now.
The ocean.
We're kind of right in the middle of Vacation Bible School time, and it's a super fun. I don't know. Did you ever grow up with Vacation Bible School? Did your church do anything like? Did you grow up going to church on a regular basis?
You know, I was back in the Stone Age, so to be honest, no, not really. No, I didn't get to. But man, I've been in a couple of times this week working with Philip.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like so much
seeing
fun.
the decorations and stuff like that. Yeah. So Vacation Bible School, it's something that I grew up with. It's I know when I was a kid, I loved it. It was, I don't know, day in, day out, at least in southern Minnesota, where we were very much into churches on every corner and all of that. But we had this, I always thought it was so much fun. And then when I got a little bit older, like middle school age, I was one of these crew leaders where you lead them to every station, where you go to crafts and you go to this, you go to that, you go each of these different stations. And we still basically do the same model today. But
so you were a good boy.
You know what? I loved it. I mean, I was trying to think because I don't think I signed up. It was one of those where other people knew that, well, Brian will definitely say yes, and we need help to do this. And so I remember getting a call and somebody asking if I would come and volunteer. And but I loved it. Like, I thought it was so much fun. And I mean, eventually being a camp counselor, all that stuff. Like, so it was just like, it was there. I didn't know I wanted to be a pastor at that time.
Yeah.
But
and look, you're still doing it today.
And I'm still doing it today. And but yeah, it's always been so much fun. And I've been talking with a number of people who, a few people in their 70s and 80s who are doing Vacation Bible School or something like it, wherever they grew up. And they were saying, you know what, I can't volunteer anymore. Like, it just didn't work for them to volunteer. But they were saying, you know, they still remembered some of those moments from whatever church they were from, little camp experience or whatever they did.
Planting the seeds.
And you know what, those things are nice to hear. And so it's been exciting there. Yes. And Jason might even have a video, or not a video, a picture that was taken. Yeah, so the front of the church is transformed a little bit, and then got a handful of kids hanging out right there with us.
Yeah,
and
handful, that's a lot.
I think I mentioned on Sunday that we had more signed up than we had in the past since before the pandemic.
It's fantastic.
And so it's nice to get those numbers back and that feeling like that momentum is growing, because we'd come back and we'd kind of hung there around, you know, just half this many kids.
Yeah. Wow.
And so we hung there for a few years and just didn't seem like there was. Well, I don't know what's going to come back after the pandemic, and we never do. That's so many things, like what has changed after the pandemic, and then suddenly this year. So that's been where I have been at. I had not had a ton of regular office duties. It's just been out there trying to manage all of it and everything there. But then Pastor Ben took off, so he's in Arizona right now. And
I think I'm sitting on the throne.
You are sitting on
Pastor Ben's throne.
Pastor Ben's throne.
I better not do anything to.
Yes, he tends to be able to notice if anybody has moved anything.
Let's not
Yes. So
Too
definitely
late.
don't tell him
Too
that. But you are on summer break right now from school. So you're a teacher, and where are you teaching at again?
Greenspan Junior High over in Green Valley.
Wow.
Yeah, so my heart goes out to you and
Yeah,
all of the
so-
volunteers, the amazing
yeah.
crew that you have. I've seen the kids and I've seen the volunteers walking them out, and they were so cheery and so excited.
You know
Now
what, there
talking
have
about
been-
the counselors, you know.
Yeah, no, and that has been a blessing this year. Like we have, sometimes finding enough volunteers, and thankfully we have a great group of volunteers
Yeah.
who have been. I don't know if they've been feeling tired at the end of the day, but they have certainly been keeping the smiles going and sharing that love there. So I've loved to see that, and
Yeah.
that's been really, really cool. But yeah, so you're a math teacher, right?
Yeah, 8th grade.
Eighth grade math
Pre-algebra.
over there. So
Yeah.
well, that's
Not as fun as camp. Wish it could be.
I'm sure you keep it exciting. Yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, if I had an ocean set like
If you
you
had an
do,
ocean
maybe then.
set. Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful out there.
Yes. Well, it is. I love the passion of other people, like trying to make it, what we can do.
Yeah,
what we
it's
can
great.
build. Yeah.
It really is great.
Have fun. All of those things, and I'm sure that's the thing. Like trying to keep your lessons interesting, or how to keep kids
Yeah.
engaged in whatever way you can.
A math teacher is parallel to a dentist. Nobody wants to see the math teacher.
Nobody wants to see
So
the math
a
teacher.
lot of humor
Well,
has to
no.
come along all day long.
Yeah, trying to find something. Have you always loved math? I mean, has that
Oh,
been
no.
something? No?
No, I hated math.
You hated math.
Hated it, and
Yeah.
and that's why I'm the perfect person to teach it.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was a singer on the Strip for
Okay.
14 years, and then
Yeah.
when I had children,
Mhm.
segued into teaching via PTA president and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I had a mentor that was teaching me how to be a teacher, and he taught math, and he was so good at it, and how you teach it and all that. That hooked me on math. I said, this is what I want to do.
Wow. And then, yeah, that does bring a different perspective then. If you're-
Teachers and mentors,
hmm
very important.
Yeah, having that guidance,
Yeah.
and how to approach something that maybe you didn't grow up loving, but finding that, okay, this can be the path, the calling, the direction.
Now
that-
I love it. Now I do have fun.
See, that's
with it.
fascinating.
But it took
That's
my
really,
whole
really
life
cool.
to get there.
Yeah. There's so many things like that life, that you would never expect
No.
to wind up going that direction.
Right. You
And, like-
said you never thought you'd be a pastor.
No, I didn't either. And
Running Vacation Bible School.
no. But it's one of those things where paying attention, like going back as a kid, how much I loved that, how much
Yeah.
meaning there was back there.
Yeah.
But then finding the way to change and how to make that work.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
You do
Find that.
Vacation Bible School every day now,
Eh, We do that every day.
with
Yes.
adults.
Yes, I remember when one of my kids was little. He was like, "Is this what church is now? Are we just
Right?
gonna do this?" Yeah.
Oh,
All
I bet
in.
you're going to get some congregations members saying, "Hey, we'd like that. Keep that set up there for
Leave
us."
that. There are a few who might enjoy
believe
it,
it.
but the set is going to be taken down, so that will have to go away. But maybe we'll get into another congregation. That'd be fun too.
True.
But you were actually a little bit earlier working on
Yeah.
a new song.
Right.
And this is a song that I couldn't believe it was over 20 years old.
Is it really? I didn't. Oh my gosh.
Because I felt like this song was, but when
surprised.
it's a song that I kind of, really had a lot of, I felt like I heard this song all the time. It was
Right.
a part of everything. And then I realized, oh, this song has been around since like 2002.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, but it's a song that I heard a lot on the radio, around quite a bit. But then at the same time, this is you did a little different version
Well,
of it
yeah.
as well.
Philip found it,
Okay.
and Philip finds some gems. He and Keith just get together, but this one Philip found all by himself.
All right.
And-
All right.
Huh?
Ben found it.
Oh, Ben found this?
Sent
Okay.
it to me. He said, "Oh, I like this."
Oh my gosh! Props to
Wow.
Ben.
So Pastor Ben found this
Dang.
song,
Well, it's great. We love
and
it.
then Philip and Dana
Yeah.
have
Woo. Whew.
taken it
Yeah.
to their own version right here for you.
Cool.
And so let's dive into that.
I'm a one-way motorway. I'm a road that drives away and follows you back home. And I'm a street light shining. I'm a white light, blind and bright, burning off and on. It's times like these you learn to live again. And it's times like these you give and give again. And it's times like these you learn to love again. And it's times like these, time and time again. I'm a new day rising. I'm a brand new sky to hang the stars upon the night. And I'm a little divided. Do I stay or run away and leave it all behind? In times like these, you learn to live again. And it's times like these, you give and give again. And it's times like these, you learn to love again. And it's times like these, time and time again. And it's times like these, learn to live again. And it's times like these, you give and give again. And it's times like these, you learn to love again. And it's times like these, time and time again. Gotta learn to give again.
Wow.
Powerful.
Powerful.
Great lyrics, great melody.
Yeah. So times like these, originally by the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
And
Who knew?
then, I would not have, but then this version done by an artist, LeChune or
Le Chenet.
LeChene. Okay, I would not have got that either. But
Me either.
how about that? So this is, like I said, this is a song that I remember hearing quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, it's funny how I can listen to a song over and over and over, but I never really paid attention to the lyrics until I really dove into them.
Right.
I mean, and I didn't even have, I was running from Vacation Bible School, one thing to another. And then and then Philip sent me, and then I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I never thought of these lyrics in that way
Right.
before.
Right.
And so it was just like, it was really interesting to see that,
Yeah.
what that was like.
Yeah.
And to look at the power of
Right.
of some of these. Times like these, you learn to live again. Times like these, you learn to give
Yeah.
again. times like these, you learn to love again.
Yeah.
And a new day rising,
Uh-huh.
all of those things that are in so many ways so incredibly biblical
Yes.
too. This idea of what it means to find a new life, to a new perspective, which we've already kind of covered, how important that can be to like bring a new perspective, a new way of looking at the world,
Yep.
a new understanding of it all. And today I didn't, because of the nature of this week, I didn't choose, different Bible verses to go over, but I was struck by how many stories in the Bible focus on this idea of people who need to see a new way and have their eyes opened. You know, they're walking along with blinders on in some way, and then what it means to look at life in a new way. And one of the famous stories is of an author of the New Testament, Saul to Paul. I mean, has that name change, but also a perspective change with the way he was looking at things, and for being so self-centered, and probably not realizing he was self-centered, but everything was about I'm living for my way, what is right,
Yes.
and my path, and has his heart just broken open to learn to live again.
Yeah.
And see that in a new way. And we see that for, that story, but it's the story of the disciples. It's the story of, so many of these different people. Old Testament, it's Elijah. It's one after another. It's letting your hearts be broken open to see that there is a bigger picture and a new way of looking at the world. And I think for me, just one of the moments was this understanding that ministry is all about these moments when Jesus says, "Come and see," to the disciples. They're first starting to come and to follow, to get this little glimpse of who Jesus is. And then Jesus says, come and see, come and follow, and to walk alongside, to enter into this path. Jesus doesn't turn to them and say, come and recite for me these creeds or these laws,
Right.
or he doesn't say, do any of this. Jesus says, come and see. Let your hearts be open to it. Come and find something, and just follow along this path. And
I imagine back then, it wasn't very easy for people to have that kind of perspective.
no, exactly.
The law of the
like,
land, you know?
It was, and it was. For so many, it would have just been, you live to survive.
Yeah.
To the next day. You're not imagining the possibilities out there of the world.
They have
Yeah.
no idea.
No. And it's true. How many of us even today can get caught in that trap where we're saying, "Wow, I'm living," but like, are we really taking time to expand, to imagine, to see the world fresh and in a new light and in a new perspective?
Yeah.
And that's not meant to be a criticism of any of us or anybody, but I think it is meant to take a fresh look and to all these, I'm a new day rising, and I'm a brand new sky to hang the stars upon tonight. What if we started to look at that world, to look at our world in a fresh new way?
Yeah.
And I think I know I see that in in my kids when they get so excited about something either that we're doing right here or whatever, and it might be something that's either exhausting or whatever that might be. But then to have them come up and show how that's been open to them in a new way, see that in a new way, and offer that a new way to bring new life. to the world around
Absolutely.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the other stories, speaking of, swimming in the ocean right here through church right now, but there's the story of Jonah and the giant fish, which is quite the story in general.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot going on with that
Yeah.
story there. But Jonah is somebody who always wants to resist God and doesn't want to take that fresh perspective, and has a moment. So the book of Jonah itself is just 4 chapters long, and the first chapter he's running away from God. Second chapter he's swallowed by this great fish, and then he prays, and it's like a new perspective opening. So he has this prayer. It's a new perspective. He goes. He follows God's calling, and then the 4th chapter is Jonah just reverting to his old bad habits, and he winds up right back to where he started, and just bitter at the whole thing, and he ends the whole entire story just angry at the people, angry at God, and he's hot, he's miserable, he's done with the whole thing, and it just strikes me that we could choose to live every day opening our hearts to experience God's blessings. We can choose to open our hearts to see this time as a moment for something new,
Right.
or we can turn to just seeing it the way it's always been.
And I think that's human, right? It's
It
like
is.
you try, you want to be a better person. There's nobody out there that
Yeah.
wants to have a miserable life. They want to
No.
have a
No.
joyous, and happy life. And,
Right.
And most humans like humans.
Yeah.
And so we want to be loved, and we want to have purpose.
Yeah.
And sometimes, just like the song, Philip was expressing this thought, in times like these, to learn to live again, learn to give,
takes
learn
that.
to love
It takes
again.
that.
Yeah.
It takes that, and to find what it is about this time or this moment, and who are the mentors
Right.
that we have that are maybe offering us a voice, offering up us a perspective that is allowing us to circle back and
Yeah.
to find deeper understanding,
Yeah.
to find a deeper way of looking at the world around us.
Yeah. I'm one of those people, sometimes I don't get it the first time, and I make the mistakes again, and gets a little bit more of a tsunami wave hitting me to learn my lesson. But
Yeah.
that's the key, is to try to come back around, as you said, circle back. And
Yeah, it is, and it's not because we don't get it the first time around. I mean, that's life, but it's to find a moment where we can, when we do have a moment where we break free of that cycle,
Yes.
and we do have that glimpse of something greater before we
Yes.
wind up ourselves back in that cycle. I mean, there's something about the awe and wonder about there is a breakthrough. There is something
There is.
bigger.
Yeah, and each time you make a mistake, it's not, you're not back where you were. You've moved.
moved.
It's like on
Yes.
a game piece on a board. You move forward.
Yes.
You might move a little back further, but not as much as where you started, and you are gaining that perspective and that.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're gaining that perspective. You're gaining that newness,
Yeah.
and the thing is, God is never looking down angry that
Thank
you're
goodness.
circle back. It's never that.
No.
It's always God's excited for you right where you're
Yeah,
at,
exactly.
and is okay and loves you right where you're at, and is excited for you to
Lead
to
us
see more,
forward.
and is
Yeah.
always offering that bigger picture. And once in a while, when we do get that glimpse of it, I think that's what it's all about, and that's exciting, living in that moment.
Yeah.
So, I love it. Any other final words of wisdom?
Well, just thinking back, the disciples.
Yeah.
How many times did they mess up? How many
I
times
know,
was
we
he,
have
right?
stories of them. I mean, that's what we know of them, is that they're
Yeah.
not a perfect story
No.
where they just get to the next. Oh, we made it to the next step. Never
Right.
level up. Right?
Right.
It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that. And we're all on that journey.
We are. Keep our eyes up.
Keep our eyes up. I love that. I love that. So, with that, I am off to prepare for one more day of Vacation Bible School. And then later on, I don't know if Robbie's also involved in Vacation Bible School. I don't know if he'll be back in time for his Friday at 3 that you can look for on Facebook. But he usually lets you know if he's available or not for that. But then we do have, starting this weekend, we have a 5 p.m. service, and then starting at 8 o'clock, 9:30, and 11, all the way through Sunday. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, or anybody who has shared that kind of loving spirit that we want to offer and lift up today. So certainly lifting up that this weekend. We've got a new sermon series. We've got, it's kind of one thing after another this weekend. But we are excited. Thank you for joining us. And Philip is right here with us too. And if you would play us out?